long time. But it did finally quit working, and so got to do that, and
Cool.
that's always fun. I liked it when we get those really old ones. Those are
Oh
always
yeah.
fun.
Now, don't you just do a try to do a promotion every year about who has the oldest?
We do. We usually do that before Christmas. This year we did the fundraiser and the food drive to help
Right.
Crosslines. But we're kicking it around. We're thinking that we really haven't had super cold weather yet. So it's something that we're talking about that we might go ahead and do it even though we've already done one this year. We might go
Right.
ahead and do another oldest hottie giveaway.
There you go.
Those are always fun.
Oh yeah, I bet they are. No doubt.
They're fun.
Well, this is Home Repairs and Solutions. We're heard every Friday morning from 10 to 11 right here on AM 560 KWTO. If you'd like to give us a call, well, please do so. It's a free call for no matter where you are, 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056. And we have a special guest in the studio today.
We do, and we're live today.
Yes,
so,
we are.
Yes.
So you can call.
You
and
can.
we will talk to you.
That's right.
So no matter what you got a question for. Our guest today, I've known this gentleman now for going on 10 years. Yeah, I said gentleman. Yeah,
Probably 10.
but it's been close to 10. And he's a builder, remodeler, real estate agent, kind of does it all. Jeff Schreier.
Good morning.
Glad to have you here, Jeff.
Glad
We've
to
talked
be
about
here.
doing this several times.
Yes.
And we thought, now's a good time to do it. And one of the reasons is because you're doing something, with you being involved in real estate stuff, you see a lot of things out there that most people don't see. But, he's talking about winter creeping up on us, and it's going to hit us, and we kind of forget about it on days like today. But if you have a vacant home setting, you need to have that thing winterized if nobody's going to be living in it. So if we have a power failure, like we had, a few years ago, the ice storm, and your electric goes out, you don't have heat, don't have the furnace going, why that house is not going to freeze and water lines bust and everything else.
I've come across quite a few situations where their water lines froze. They left the house. When they come back, the heat's back on.
Yeah.
Water lines thaw out, and you've got water everywhere. And,
Sure.
I know of a couple bank houses that had that just
Yeah.
last winter.
Yeah, exactly.
And I tried to get them to winterize the home, and this means putting antifreeze in all the traps and pressurize the water lines and with air pressure blow all the water out of the water lines. And there's certain ways to do it to make sure you get all the water out.
Right.
And, we use a biodegradable antifreeze, so it's not harmful. We can put it in the dishwasher and it won't hurt anything. And we've been doing this for banks and different relocation companies here for the last couple years.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cheap insurance.
Sure. Well, what I got to thinking about is we have a lot of people in this area that goes to Texas or Florida for 2 or 3 months at a time. And, while you're gone, a lot of those folks don't have a backup generator or whatever, or somebody to check on their property. That'd be a good thing. It'd be a minimal cost to spend to have a little peace of mind while you're down there, knowing that your house is not going to freeze up and bust while you're gone on vacation for 2 or 3 months if you're retired. And
Oh, absolutely.
And
have the people going down to the winter Texans, as we
Sure.
used to call them. They
Yeah.
go down there for the
Snowbirds.
winter.
Snowbirds, yeah.
Snowbirds,
Yeah.
snowbirds, yeah.
So this
yeah.
would be something good for them.
We do vacation homes down around Table Rock when they're leaving the house or the mobile home or whatever, when they're leaving it for the winter time, and they won't be back until April or May. They can have those power failures, or sometimes they just shut the utilities completely off. Before you shut the utilities off, that's when we need to go in and do the winterization, because we went to one the other day and there was no power. If we don't have power on, I cannot winterize this home because we do it with an air compressor.
Yeah.
And we test it, and we put an air test to the line, and so we have to have power on the house before this done.
Yeah. We got a call holding on John here in Springfield. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, this is John.
Oh, John.
Either last week or the week before, you had a gal call in that said she was having a lot of moisture on her windows, and she wasn't sure what to do. I've had that same problem, and I put down either 3-ply or 6-ply if she's got a crawl space, 3-ply or 6-ply plastic, and within a week, that moisture went away. and my windows have not had any moisture on them now for 10 years.
Well, that's great. Yeah, that's a good idea, putting the moisture barrier on the ground. Jeff, I'm sure you run into that quite often, haven't you?
Yeah, it's a 6 mil, actually, not a 6-ply. It's a
6 mil
plastic, and of course we've got the heat and air expert here too. But I believe in having the crawl vents open all year if you can. January and February. You can close those crawl vents because it's the high wind that's going to freeze your pipes
right.
over there. But that crawl space needs to be open and the vapor barrier down on the floor of the crawl space. You got to keep that moisture from coming up into the house. And the heat ducts placed near the windows and doors is going to help the moisture from gathering on those windows too.
That is correct. Yeah, we even talked about that a little bit about whether you should shut the vents in your crawl space or not, and we leave ours open as well.
Yeah. Oh, I do. Unless I have one that's real close to a water line or something, I might close. But I leave them open all year. Yeah. And I believe in that ventilation.
Does if you put chat down, will that help as well, or do you need that plastic barrier? Because I know a lot of people put chat down in their crawl spaces.
Well, that's an argument I have, and I have this, or I shouldn't say an argument. It's a discussion I have with our building inspectors. They want the chat on top of the plastic, but I think that's absolutely wrong. I think the chat should be underneath the plastic, because like this gentleman says, when he put the plastic down, that stopped that from coming through. But you still have to let that moisture go someplace. So when you have the gravel underneath the plastic, you get a capillary action.
Yeah.
Gravity's going to get rid of that water sooner or later, and when you can see the moisture condensating on that plastic, and I'm sure John has seen this in his own house, and after a while that plastic will dry out.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I do like the gravel underneath the plastic.
Under the plastic.
Under the plastic.
I know that's been an issue.
Are you still there?
Yeah, John. That's a great call.
I put chat down first, and then put the 6 mil plastic over the top of it.
I think you did great.
And that worked absolutely wonderful.
Yep, I think that made a big difference for you.
There we go.
John,
okay, thank you.
Appreciate it, John. Good call. We got another caller holding on. We got Lenora here in Springfield. Go ahead, Lenora. Are you there, Lenora?
Hold on one
Oh,
moment.
got a technical
difficulty here. We'll get Lenora on here in just a minute.
Okay, Lenora, you there?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm just calling to say when I moved into Springfield 4 years ago, they had a big black mold problem in the house, so a lot of the walls and floors had been replaced, and they put down the screen. But I had a lot of moisture under that, and a lot of moisture under my house, and I ended up having it removed, and the crushed lime put in, and I did that last year, and I tell you the difference in my heat, everything has been quite more warmer, and I don't have the moisture, so I really am in favor of the crushed lime.
The crushed lime, is that what you said?
Limestone,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A gravel, some
that all under the house, and it's absolutely fantastic down there now.
Well, great.
And then you put the Bisqueen down too, the 6 mil.
No, I took it out, threw it away.
Oh, really?
Because I think that creates more problems for termites. Where I came from, if you lay some Bisqueen down, in 5 days you have termites under it because there's moisture in the ground all the time here in Springfield. Even when we have a drought, the ground has moisture because of the air that we have at night, and the we don't have really dry air like they do in Arizona and Nevada. But anyway, I'm afraid of termites. Termites are so deadly with the moisture. So I said, no, I'm getting rid of that Bisqueen. So I'm really happy with the crushed limestone, and I tell you, it has definitely made a difference.
And then you keep your vents, your crawl
I
vents
I
open.
closed them because when Mary said to close them, but then I opened one because I think we need some more air under there. That's another thing that attracts termites. But I opened one that doesn't get so much wind blowing in because I still think that you have to have a good vent coming up for your furnace. So we built 2 houses and remodeled one, and I was very leery of closing my vents. I left them open all the years that I've been here. This was the first year I closed them.
Right. Well, that's interesting,
But I'm really happy with the difference the limestone has made.
Well,
it was a big job putting it under the under the house, but they did a good job. So that was my input.
You're creating that capillary action that lets that moisture have a place to go.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's great down there. You can walk on that limestone. I mean,
oh yeah,
it made a big difference.
Yep, that's great. Well, we appreciate the call, Lenora. Thank you. We got Gloria holding on here in Springfield. Go ahead, Gloria.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Hey, I need to ask you a question then. I agree with the last caller. See, when it starts getting cold, I leave at least 2 vents open for a cross breeze.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it gets really cold, then I close those.
Mm-hmm.
But I leave at least 2 open to the very end.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to ask you about, and I have a very comfortable home. It's about 25 years old, but it's in good shape. There's only been 2 residents in this house. So the woodwork and everything's in good shape. I got a great crawl space.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what kind of rock is down there, but it's a good crawl space. And my utility bills are very low, even though I've got an old furnace. But everything works great. But I was wondering, would I be better off to wrap my what carries my heat and all that underneath in my crawl space?
Your duct.
Or I know there's a spray foam you can do, but would it be better off, because the furnace on one end of the house, and then all of my vents go to the other end of the house. Would I be better off? If I wrap those vents.
You can do that. We've been doing that a lot for folks, especially in older houses like yours, Gloria. We've been going in.
Yeah, but I've got a modern home.
That's okay.
It's just been well taken care of. I live here in Chimney Hills.
Sure.
I mean, is it that good to do that?
It is. We just did our personal house yesterday. We sent our crew down to insulate and seal up all of our ductwork under our personal house, because yes, it will make a difference in your utility bill and how much warmer you can be.
Well, I would think the further the warmer it has to travel, it's going to lose the warmness.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It will. I mean, the farther away your ductwork is from your unit, of course. I mean, air will only push so much volume. So the farther away the duct is, the less air you're going to have going through there. But when you insulate them and wrap them, then that just helps with any kind of loss or anything you might have through your ductwork.
What I also do, the vents that are closest to the furnace, I cut them more in half, so more air goes down to the further end of the house.
That's fine. You can do that. What you don't want to do, though, is you don't want to shut your vents off completely.
No, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the best, the foam or the wrapping with the insulation?
We don't do the foam, so we always wrap and seal ours.
Okay.
So, I mean,
what do you seal them with? What kind of tape?
I'd have to ask my installers, Gloria. I don't know. We have several different kinds of tape, and I don't know what they use when they seal
Okay, so you will come out and give a bid on this?
Yes, we do.
Okay, give me your number again.
It's 417-831-4036.
831-4036.
And Nathan would be the one who would come out and talk to you about that and
Who
look
would
at your
be?
system. Nathan.
Nathan, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Gloria.
Appreciate the call,
Bye-bye.
Gloria. That's something that you can do to definitely make your unit more efficient. Even if you do have an older unit like she does.
Well, and what we find when we go out to do that for people, and it's usually people that have an older home that maybe the ductwork's been there for a while. We almost every time we go do that, we will find where a piece of ductwork has either come loose or there is an animal has chewed a hole through it or something. So almost everyone, unless it's a brand new house, and even then that might happen, but has some sort of air leakage in their ductwork for some reason.
Right.
So when we go in and we wrap it and seal it all up, then that takes care of all those leakage issues that they have that are existing that they don't even realize they have.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
We've come across some situations where we see a lot of condensation on the ductwork, and that indicates to me that there's no insulation inside the walls of the trunk line or anything. It's old now. In Chimney Hills, I would say they've got an insulation on the inside of the trunk line, but not on your smaller 6-inch heat runs.
Correct. Yeah.
So if we see that condensation, then we always recommend to
Absolutely.
wrap them.
Absolutely. Yep.
And there's different types. There's a fiberglass that has a foil on it that works great, and they wrap it all around it, and you guys do a great job on that.
We use the foil wrap, I believe, is what we use.
Yeah.
And then as far as what kind of tape, I don't know.
Duct tape.
I don't think it is. I think it's
it's a foil tape.
It's a foil.
That,
I don't know what it's called, but
yeah.
But
it's made for that.
No, it's not duct tape.
Well,
but
because the aluminum, the foil has to be compatible and it'll stick. The duct tape in time will start peeling off and hanging.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we use the foil tape when we do it.
I was just being a smart aleck there.
Yeah. Well, if you can't glue it or nail it,
use duct tape. Hey, that's you know this as well as anybody. That's a musician's best friend is a roll of duct tape.
Well, they call it gaffer tape in the music world.
Yeah. That's a roadie's best friend is a roll of duct tape. So, 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056. If you got a call or a question for Jeff, our guest here today, or Mary or myself, we'd love to talk to you.
Yes.
We like talking to people.
Looks like we got about a minute left for the break. So if you don't get your call in now, you can get it in right after the break. But we'll be here for at least another 30 minutes.
Yes, we will. It goes by fast.
It does.
You notice that?
It goes by really fast.
This is my quickest hour of the week.
It is. But it's the most fun hour of the week.
It is. I will have to admit it is.
I really had to rush around to get here today. I was like insanely busy this morning, but that's okay. Some of those mornings are good. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I did a really dumb thing this morning. I knocked over a whole big cup. Well, is this cup right here? You can see how it's run down the side of it. Dumped it over in the passenger seat and on all my paperwork and my bills and everything.
Well, at least it wasn't on a passenger.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm glad I didn't have a passenger in there. And so now I can't have a passenger ride in there because
everything's wet.
Everything's wet. So
it's a good Friday to take off, Mark.
I hear that Harley starting right now.
Do you hear it?
That's right, I can hear it.
All righty.
We'll be back right after this.
And he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions."
Here's news on the Ozarks News Network. City of Springfield has begun the process of replacing Councilman Nick Ibarra. Ibarra resigned following several incidents and charges of illegal use of a firearm. Between now and January 20th, the city clerk will be taking applications for the Zone 1 council seat. Springfield City Utilities has chosen a site for a new water tower in southeast Springfield. The 137-foot structure will be built near Highway 60 and Farm Road 189. It will cost some $3.25 million. And 2 people have been hospitalized following a stabbing incident in rural Christian County. It happened in a home between Crane and Clever. Deputies are looking into circumstances surrounding the incident. Injuries are said to be non-life-threatening. For the Ozarks News Network, I'm Arlen Summers.
I'm Dr. Norman Shealy. Did you know how good Nature Blessed Tart Cherry Concentrate is for you? It contains fabulous antioxidants called ORACs, oxygen radical absorption. Nutritionists suggest you need 3,000 to 5,000 units a day. In 1 ounce of Nature Blessed Tart Cherry Concentrate, you get 3,622 units. Fabulous. Drink it every day. It's good for your health and available at Price Cutter, Dillon's, Heart of House, and Summer Fresh in the produce department.
The Grammy Museum at LA Live in Los Angeles presents George Harrison, Living in the Material World. Step inside the world of the Quiet Beatle and experience the musician, songwriter, filmmaker, photographer, book publisher, and dedicated spiritualist in this groundbreaking interactive exhibit. Tickets available now at the Grammy Museum box office. George Harrison, Living in the Material World, now at the Grammy Museum in Los Angeles. For more information, go to GrammyMuseum.org.
Today will be mostly sunny and warmer, high 65 as we wrap up the work week. Partly cloudy skies tonight, not as mild as last night, a low 35. Partly sunny and cooler tomorrow, high 52. Low tomorrow night, 32 to start the weekend. Mostly cloudy on Sunday, high 48. Monday, partly sunny as you head back to work, a high 51. Partly sunny on Tuesday, high 55. I'm AccuWeather's Jason Lord.
to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions."
This is the Home and Repairs and Solutions Show with Mary Pearson and Mark Withers, sponsored by Spring Mountain Air and Heating.
You're a Amana dealer.
Your local Amana
Local
dealer.
Amana dealer, that's right.
That would be us.
You know, I am so impressed with what you guys have told me about Amana. You know, their warranties and stuff, and
Made in America.
That's a great company, you know.
Yep.
Amana and Harley Davidson.
There you go.
Yep.
There's not very many left made in America
No,
anymore.
there's not.
Yep.
That is for sure.
That's the way we like it.
And Gibson banjos.
Gibson banjos are made in America?
Well, they may not all be anymore, but
Taylor guitars.
There's Taylor guitars
Taylor
still
guitars.
in.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so we got another one there. I'm sure we can. And Martin guitars. Martin, we don't want to leave Martins out, you know. So, so speaking of music, Jeff, you play and sing, and you're going to be playing this weekend. I've heard you, and you're good.
Well, it's not bluegrass.
No, hey.
And it's not country.
You know, there's only two types of music, in my opinion, that's good and bad.
There you go.
So I'm not one to categorize. I like it all.
I like all.
I do too.
All kinds of music.
But I like
all
what you do.
Well, it's a modern pop. It goes anywhere from the Beatles to B.B. King to Dave Matthews. If you like the Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds kind of a sound, we do a lot of that. I've got a lead guitar player that just blows me away. I can just sit back and listen to him all night. He's just really an amazing guitar player, and I try to sing most of the songs.
You do a fine job. I've heard you.
It's at Galloway Station, and that's our favorite place to play is Galloway. Just the best crowd, the best venue. Great food, great people all the time, and always good, easy parking. When the weather's nice, they've got the outdoor seating there. I'm plugging for John here, I guess, for Galloway Station, but it is our favorite place to play.
Well, great.
And is that tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
What
tomorrow
time?
Night we start at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
From 9 until when they start blinking the lights.
All righty. What's the name of your band?
We're called Two for the Road Band.
Two for the Road Band. There you go.
And we're on Facebook, and I think I've even got a website. So we've been doing this a long time. I used to play. We used to jam with the Ozark Mountain Daredevils years ago, but my guitar player is about half my age, so that keeps us young and lively.
There you go.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
It's a lot of fun. We really enjoy it. We enjoy the people and making people tap their foot and sing along with us.
That's what it's all about.
It is. It's about the music. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I do think Galloway's a neat location because you kind of have it just kind of has a neat feel to it, I think.
Yeah.
You know, you're not in the middle of the city, you're not in the middle of downtown or something. You're just kind of out there just kind of doing your thing. And
they've done so well down there at Galloway. The management and the owner, they've really kept that place going. You know, they've got their different festive Greek night and that they do quite a bit of the time. They've got a lot of great bands that go down. Big Smith has played down there quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
They've got a lot of good people that have played down there. So we're honored to play there. We love it. We're one of the few bands here in town that's registered with the Budweiser True Music. So that's up there with the Dave Matthews kind of a crowd. They're in Budweiser True Music with us.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So hey, I got something special I need to tell about.
What are you doing?
You know, we've been working on the Big Convoy of Hope fundraiser that we do every year.
Uh-huh.
We've got it all the bands booked. We are bringing in, and some of you listeners out there will know when I tell you who it is. You'll know them. A group called Special Consensus. They're out of Chicago, and they are one of the hottest professional bluegrass bands out there on the road. Greg Cahill has been known as one of the top banjo players in the world for several years. We got them coming to the Convoy of Hope fundraiser this year, so it's going to be a hoot. So it'll be March the 3rd.
Good for you.
And we're doing it at the River Bluff Fellowship out on Evans Road, and those folks out there have been so gracious to let us use their nice facility. And then I'll tell more about it as we get closer. But we've got 5 or 6 other really good top-notch regional bands, and then bringing in Special Consensus. So it's going to be a great fundraiser for Convoy of Hope this year.
You know, and they're just a great charity too.
Oh, they are.
They do such good work, and
you know, Nathan and I, we talked on last week's show about our favorite charities, and Convoy of Hope and the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks are my 2 favorite charities. I will do anything for either one of those folks.
They're great charities, and we like to promote local charities and as well as local businesses, as everyone knows who's listened to us for a while. So it's always good to be able to do something to help those folks.
Oh, yes, it is. And speaking of promoting local businesses, you had a shout-out that you wanted to do to somebody.
Oh, I just wanted to say a big thanks to Tom Mayer from out there at the Nixa Meek Lumber Company. He's been great to me and my guys in my building company, and they've sent us to the Chiefs games a couple times, and we just went to the Lady Bears game last night and sat in the Meek Suite. And their service, the people, just a quick little kudos and shout out to Meeks. We really appreciate the way they help us, and old Mike Burcham, our salesman, he just top notch and does a great job for us.
Tom Mayer's a good guy. He used to be my boss.
Tom,
I worked for Tom.
You know, I don't know what he does to his employees, but he sure treats me right. I don't know how much he screams at them to get them to take care of us like they do, but they do a great job.
I don't know the years I worked for Meeks. I don't know that I ever heard Tom Mayer say a cross word to anybody. He's a fine guy. Really is.
I haven't either. He grits his teeth a little bit and smiles, and that's about it. That's about it. But he's just been one of the greatest. He's the manager, and when I walk in there, it's not like he's just a manager stuck in the office. He's out there.
He's out there
behind the counter and helping and waiting on people, and he just great.
Yeah. And, you know, and that's what it's all about right there. You got to be people oriented, and I think that's why the businesses that are from here in the Ozarks, just like Spring Mountain Air, Meeks, different ones, they know how the people in this area needs to be treated, and they do what they do what they got to do.
They appreciate the customers.
They appreciate the customers.
They send us to the Bears games and the sweet tickets, and the snacks and the food was great. They appreciate us, and then we in turn appreciate what they do.
Absolutely.
Their deliveries and service and products. And boy, I tell you what, that Meeks Design Center up there on North Glenstone. I don't know if you've been in there, but
I never have.
That is quite the showroom. Anything you want, doors or windows or cabinets or anything, fireplaces, the whole bit. They've really got a showroom. So I better quit plugging for Meeks, but they're Tom Mayer's a good personal friend.
I'll send you a bill, Tom.
Yeah. He's probably not even listening.
Oh, he'll hear about it.
He will.
Yeah. So let's talk just a little bit about you and your business. You know, we talked about doing the winterization. You also do remodeling. You build new houses. You have for several years. You kind of do it all.
I've been building homes for over 30 years in the Springfield and the areas, Christian and some in Webster County, but mostly Springfield, Republic, Nixa, and been remodeling for quite a while. Do more of an executive type of remodel, not go in and redo a bathroom, but a room addition or a major remodel redesign. You've got a 50-year-old house and you want to redesign it. That's what we do. Custom homes, and also sell real estate with RE/MAX House of Brokers. And that's been a great move for me. About 3 years ago, I guess, started up over there with you. And that it works great for customers. I can help them find a lot or help them find a house. Tell them if the house is in good repair or maybe they need to walk away from it. So I'm bringing a lot more to the table, having this construction knowledge, and then also putting it with the real estate market, and it's worked really well. Plus, I work with you on quite a bit of stuff.
We do. Our offices are right next door to each other.
We're right next door to each other. We just knock on the wall and say, come on over. Well, you've got the coffee in your office. So
well, that's why you come over, because I got the coffee pot.
That's where I go see it.
Yeah, that's right. But no, that is great. You know, your knowledge spans, like you say, the real estate end. You can help somebody with that, or if they want to design a house, build a new custom house, you do that. You know, it's nice to be able to cover all the bases there, and you do a good job.
Thank you.
We hear good things.
Well, if you don't hear anything about me, that's good too.
That's good. Yeah. Sometimes you always hear the bad things.
That's
Nobody
right.
ever says anything about the good.
No news is good.
No
news
is good news.
Yeah, it's all referral. That's all we ever do.
Yeah.
It's not big in advertising. We've got websites, SchreyerHomes.com, and we've got Springfield Home for Sale, and JeffSchreier.com, and just whatever's out there, you can find me somewhere.
Yeah. Have you seen the? We've had lots of foreclosures over the past 3 years or so. What do you see as far as people buying foreclosures and fixing them up as compared to people buying or building new houses? What's your take on all that? What do you see the trend is right now?
I think we're going to continue seeing that trend, but I think it's leveled off. I don't think we're going to see an improvement as far as people being underwater for quite a while, where they owe more than what their house is worth. I think we're going to continue seeing that for quite a long time. But the houses that are for sale out there now in these foreclosures, there's a reason, and it's usually their location or the condition of the home. So I do feel that we are going to see an increase in new home construction, and I think that's going to start here in this spring if it hasn't already. I think we're going to see an uptake in that a little bit.
We've actually seen a little bit of that. We're doing some new homes and some new customs and stuff for some folks that are building. So.
And the first-time home buyer is my biggest client right now. I mean, it's $200,000 down. I'm working with 3 or 4 people that are $60,000 to $80,000, and I love them just as much as the other kind of a customer because in 5 years, it's a repeat customer.
There you go.
But the foreclosures, we're going to continue seeing them, and I don't think we're going to see more of a drop in price. It will be a little bit. I don't think any more than maybe 2 or 3%. If the pricing on the existing homes, maybe a 2 or 3% drop. I think it's all we'll see this year. But people are going to get tired of looking at the junk that's out there, and I think there's going to be good financing available for new construction. And you work out there at Strasburg and sell new homes out there, and some of the Schuler Ridge. So you've continued to sell the new homes out there because people realize that buying the old home and all the money they put in it to fix it up on the foreclosures is going to put them over what the house is going to be worth. So I don't see any appreciation in those houses more than what they are on the market right now. I think it's going to take a couple of years.
There's still some bargains out there.
There are.
If you have the money.
Them.
Yeah, and if a person has money, I think what we're dealing with more right now is a person being able to get the money. If you don't have the money, it's tough to get. It's tough to qualify right now, and I don't know when that's going to loosen up. We see that a lot.
It's the lender. If you're hitting a brick wall, go talk to a different lender because I've got 2 or 3 that I work with, and we have put people through. It was down to where if he bought a refrigerator on his credit card, he wouldn't be able to buy a house. It was that close, but we got them the loan. They were paying $650 a month in rent, and they bought a house. In fact, it was one that you had over there, one of your bank houses. I think their payment ended up being $100 less than what they were renting.
Really?
So it can be done, and you can get financing where you can get in with about 3.5% down and find the people that'll help pay your closing costs because people are wanting to sell their houses.
Right.
So there are loans out there. I've got 2 or 3 lenders that I work with that are just doing great. We haven't turned down anybody yet.
Well, that's fantastic.
Wow, that's real good. Yeah. Well, I've heard where is the rental market? I've been told that the rental market got pretty high the last year or so. That rent's gone up because more people were losing their homes and renting. So has it got to the point now to where maybe they can get back into a home and save a little money?
In this area.
You don't think it affected this area too much?
I don't think it has very much. I've been hearing about that in other markets.
But not so much local.
Like Las Vegas and those places, the rent's going up. But I haven't seen that too much here locally. I really haven't. You have a lot of rental property, Mark.
Yeah, we have a lot of rental property, and we have actually dropped our rents on some of our propities to get people in. And there's a big demand out there for rental property still yet, but in this area, I agree with Jeff. I think it's stayed pretty level. And like I say, in our case, we've even, to be more competitive, dropped our rents just a little bit on certain properties.
Right.
And so it's not too bad.
I think we've got enough apartments.
Yeah.
I think we really do in this town. And,
sure.
And there's some people that we can't name names, but they're going to say quit building the new ones because they're old ones. People are moving out and going into the new ones. But there's still the little family that is wanting the fenced yard and a place to park their car and their kids and their
place
dog.
To have a dog in the backyard.
And you can't have that in an apartment. So I do think with these, this is kind of my specialty, is help some of the investors, knowing the construction and the real estate market, that I think if you get these foreclosures and these short sales the right way, I think it's a good time to start your investment portfolio with housing rental units. I really think there's going to be a demand for rental, for houses, not for apartments.
Right.
I think we got a glut of those.
Yeah.
Well, I would think that if someone was looking to buy a foreclosure, that's not something that most people do typically every day. So if they're looking to buy a foreclosure, I've always thought, what would I do with the foreclosure property? I would want to get with someone like you who is knowledgeable on the construction, and because if you don't have that knowledge going in to look at a piece of property that's been foreclosed on, that's maybe been sitting there for a while, just by going and looking at, I can kind of look at some of the cosmetic part of it, but the structural part of it, I could see where you think you're getting a good deal, but by the time you get it fixed up and make it livable, you can be upside down on it if you don't know what you're doing. So if someone was looking to go that route, I would suggest that they would get a hold of you.
Well, I'll take it to it to a certain level, but when they want to when they put an offer on a house and the offer has been accepted by the buyer and the seller, they need to get a home inspector who specializes in crawling in the crawl space, going in the attic, and doing all this, and they do their reports, and they will need to do that. I can walk in pretty much from the start, and I may not see that crack in the foundation where that inspector will find that.
But once they get that inspection, though, and have that, then they could come to you and say, here's my inspection report.
Oh, I've done that a lot of times.
What's it going to take to
put
this back into a livable condition?
But now I'm wearing my builder's hat and not my realtor hat. But so the builder's hat would be, you can come to me and with your inspection report, and I'll go through that, because I found some inspections where they changed the building code a few years ago, where they put the UFA ground in, which is connected to your foundation on your rebar. It's not outside anymore, and the copper wire was hanging out of the meter back, and that is only there for the telephone and the cable company to connect to your ground. Well, the inspector said, well, there's no ground rod. Well, of course not, because it's inside the foundation now. And so this inspector had no clue that they had changed this.
They hadn't stayed up to date on everything.
So you do need to have somebody that can even look at the inspector's report and say, don't worry about this, or yes, this needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Very important. Us as realtors, we always stress, get a home inspection. Spend that $275, $300, get that home inspection. If nothing else, get a termite inspection. Got to do that. And most, like if you're getting a VA loan or different ones, they'll require at least
FHA
a termite.
and VA, they're going to require it.
Yeah. But spend that money, get that home inspection, because it is well worth it, let me tell you. Because when you go buying a foreclosed house, the majority of the time you're buying it as is. I'd rather spend the $300, have the home inspection, and say, "Ooh, this come back not good. I'm walking away. Okay, I spent $300, but other than if I didn't have a home inspection, I got in there and it cost $3,000 or $4,000 to fix that nobody's seen. So unless you got a lot of experience and stuff, get that home inspection.
Oh, absolutely, be the best $200, $300 you'll ever spend on it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of peace of mind.
Sure.
They're going to find that. Plus, that also, when you make your offer on the house, that gives you a negotiating tool. If you have your brother-in-law come out and say, well, you need new shingles, that's not going to hold a lot of weight in your contract unless you're a certified inspector.
Sure.
And that carries a little more weight in making your negotiations.
Yeah.
You can walk out of that contract, or you can have them make those repairs, or you can adjust the price accordingly to those repairs that needed. So that gives you a lot of bargaining tools to take to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. So spend that little bit of extra money and do it.
Yep, it's worth it.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep, we always do.
It's worth it, just like calling Spring Mountain Air and having them come out and inspect your furnace. If you got an old house, the furnace needs cleaned or whatever, I mean, that's prevention right there. It can save you money down the road.
Absolutely.
The maintenance
Absolutely.
right now this time of year, just had some stuff done on my furnace. I've got a heat pump, and we changed the defrost cycle board. Unbelievable what difference that made in the way the whole thing ran. So,
oh, yeah.
The maintenance,
Statistics show in our industry that 85% of breakdowns or repairs are due to lack of maintenance. Because if you have regular, just like your car, you don't have to change the oil in your car, and it'll still run for a while. But eventually, then when you do have issues, it's going to be a lot more costly than changing the oil.
Absolutely.
So it's the same thing with your heating or your air conditioning system. It's just it's very inexpensive way to maintain something that, because heating and air conditioning systems are not cheap to replace. They're expensive to replace. So it's something that's just very easy to do, and takes our techs about an hour or so to go through, inspect everything, make sure everything's okay. There's all kinds of little issues that can create big problems.
Air filters.
Air filters are huge. We talk about that all the time. All the time. So, and that's something most homeowners can do. Like we've mentioned several times on the show, it's something that they can actually change out themselves. Some of them have washable filters. They can remove them, wash them out, put them back in. It's very, very important.
Well, I've got a question for you, if I may.
Sure.
If you've got an older furnace where they have the filter that is inside the furnace, can you change that to put the filters in the return air ducts, like in the hallway or the bedrooms? Wouldn't that be better?
We
and that's
do
something
that
you can
a lot. We put in easy access filtering systems, and that's what we do. Those are, to me, that's a huge design flaw. I think those are very difficult for most people, especially if you have to it's the V-shaped deal, and you kind of you can't really, you got to halfway stand on your head and stick your elbow in there and all that stuff. So that's something that we do quite often.
That's just been in the last 10 years, really. They've really concentrated on putting those in, and so you can change those out to people pretty easy then.
Absolutely. So that makes it much easier and much more user-friendly.
I need you out at my house then, because I've got to change that, because my furnace was put in 1994, so we don't have that. So I need to have you come out and change that. So
we can do that for you, Jeff. Yes, we can.
There you go.
Not a problem.
Spring Mountain Air can do it. So, give your numbers out, how folks can get a hold of you, Jeff.
Well, of course, RE/MAX House of Brokers, 887-5333. Or you can catch me anytime, day or night. I'd rather it not be after 10. I go to bed early. But 839-9572 is a number where I can be reached all the time. I've got websites out there. SchreyerHomes.com, JeffSchreyer.com is the real estate, or Springfield Mo Home for Sale. I've got your website there at RE/MAX too. I forgot what it's called, but I manage a couple of websites. We've got twofortheroadband.com, or we're on Facebook everywhere, Jeff Schreier Realtor. I'm everywhere.
You're a popular man.
I'm everywhere.
Sounds like you're a very busy man.
I like to be. It keeps me out of trouble.
Well, there you go. That's always good.
Yeah. I have to get home and take care of my dog, but every once in a while. But other than that, I'm pretty much gone all the time.
Well,
you are a busy man, whether you're in there in the real estate office or out on the job, building a new house for somebody or doing a remodel job. You stay busy, but never too busy to talk to somebody.
Oh, that you can't talk to too many people.
That's right. Absolutely right. So, Mary, what you got going on this weekend?
Well, this weekend I don't have a whole lot planned, but last night we did something kind of fun. We went to, there's a little auction place down kind of by Reed Springs, and they had an auction last night, and they had some sort of estate that they were selling, and the gentleman was a professional fisherman.
Really?
And so, my husband is all about fishing. So they were selling all kinds of rods and reels and just tons of fishing stuff. So we went to that. It was kind of fun.
Wow.
Yeah, we just had a good time, and he was able to pick up some pretty neat fishing stuff at, pretty dirt cheap prices. And so we hadn't done that. We hadn't been to auction for a long time, and so we thought we'd just go and check it out, and just had a good time.
There you go. That's what it's all about. So, Jeff, appreciate you coming on, being with us today.
Thank you. Enjoyed it. It's fun. I learned a couple things from
hopefully you'll come back. Yeah.
From the heat and air.
We always learn stuff on our show.
We do.
Me and Mark are always learning new stuff, which makes it great.
Yep, that's for sure. Well, this is Home Repairs and Solutions. We're heard every Friday right here on AM 560 KWTO.